Rosacea is not easy to deal with. Here are my tips that may help you to pick a better sunscreen. First, we need to understand one thing, that the cause of rosacea until now is not well defined and it's believed to be a multifactorial disease. But currently, the strongest data suggests that it's something related to your immune system. In simpler terms, that means that the immune system in your skin is a bit too much sensitive and a little bit sassy. So modern sunscreen contain a combination of what I will call is old UV filters and new UV filter. Here are the list if you want to take a screenshot. So both generation, old and new, of UV filters are safe and effective, but I would consider the new UV filters have more bells and whistles that can be possibly beneficial for people with rosacea. So when new generation UV filters were developed, skin absorption were taken into consideration more, and the newer generation has less chance to penetrate the skin and were designed to stay on the top layer of the skin, so there was a little bit less risk of penetrating into a location where they have the chance to interact with your immune cell and leading to a reaction or a flare-up of rosacea. And in that aspect is where old UV filters kind of, like I would say, suck, is that they are able to penetrate the skin a little bit more than newer generation. This penetration increases the risk of a reaction, and they have in their chemical structure more a functional group that are able to interact with your macromolecule like proteins. This interaction is quite important because some old generation UV filters are considered haptens. What I mean by haptens is that they are molecules that by themselves are not able to produce a skin reaction, but when they are interacting with other macromolecules like proteins, they generate what we call an antigen complex that is big enough to be seen by your immune system. And because old generation UV filters has a lot of carbonyl function group, they are able to interact and produce this kind of reactions. So when this reaction happened the first time, your skin just, let's say, memorize it. And when you are exposed the second time to the same UV filter that you already formed a antigen complex for, your skin will react and you will have some redness, irritation, etc. So because I had a little bit of free time, and that's what I do when I have a free time, don't judge me, I created a scatter plot with two variables. The x-axis represent time and the y-axis represent molecular weight, and I dotted some UV filters that are well used in today's formulation. The blue ones represent the old generation UV filter, the 7 most used one, and the red one represent the newer generation UV filter. As you can see, there is a trend toward, as we advance with time, the new created UV filters have a higher molecular weight to prevent skin absorption and make them more tolerable. As you can see, there are a few outliers. As you can see, this one is considered has a weird behavior because it's quite recent, but it is fall under the 500 Dalton, and I believe this one is Mixoral 400 that it was created by BASF and L'Oreal. And of course, this shows that a molecular weight is not the only or sole reason for predicting skin absorption and skin reactivity, but it's one of the main reasons. There are other factors like how lipophilic or how water loving the molecule is, if it's charged or not, etc. So I'm saying this and I'm showing this because it can give you some type of idea to reduce a potential small risk and try newer generation UV filter that has, I would say, that have lower risk to give you a skin reaction. And again, here are the UV filters categorized by below 500 Dalton and above 500 Dalton, as you can see here if you want a screenshot. So here are my tips. One is to try sunscreen with a new UV filter, but don't give up if you tried 1 or 2 formulation and didn't work, because sometimes your skin can react to the excipient inside the sunscreen formula, not the UV filter itself. So don't give up on a new generation UV filter super fast. Try 3 or 4 formulation from different brand to see what works for your skin. Second, go with a non-fragrance sunscreen, because we will try to reduce any type of not needed risk that can allow your immune system to go on overdrive. The third advice is with going with formulation that contain some soothing ingredients, especially Korean sunscreen use a lot of Centella asiatica, allantoin. Those type of ingredients can help your skin to behave on a normal level. And the fourth advice is there is always mineral sunscreen option to try, and it can be, again, don't give up on trying just one formulation or two formulation of mineral sunscreen. There are tons of formulation. Try different brand, different names and different formulations.